Hello and welcome to Fit for Golf. After years of watching my handicap rise, while my enjoyment of the game plummeted, I decided to do something about it. Since April of 2022, through exercise and diet, I've already lost over 20 pounds, turning back the hands of time. So follow me as I begin to hit it like I'm in my 30s again, gaining flexibility, muscle mass, and improving my overall conditioning, proving that at age 63, I can return my handicap back into the single digits where it belongs. After flirting with an 80 the last time I played, and with 4 days of rain in the immediate forecast for southern Alberta, this is the first round of golf I've played in a long time where I'm feeling pretty good about my game. So, nailing a good drive off the first tee is a big relief. And a well-struck layup to my favorite yardage also gives me a great boost of confidence. Though I did leave a tough chip from a nasty lie short, and eventually ended up accepting a 2-putt for bogey. I figured, oh well, I'm just going to have to birdie the par 3 second and get back to level. I nailed this 6-iron, but a bad bounce and I ended up with a tough lie again just off the green. This time though, I made sure I didn't leave my chip short and made my par. You know, it might just be in my head, but one of the things I've really noticed about my weight loss and increased flexibility is how much freer it feels to swing a club. Not only has my backswing become longer, I'm also swinging through the ball better and transferring my weight onto my left foot a lot more naturally. Plus, it's become a lot easier bending over and retrieving my ball from the cup. The fellow you see here is obviously one of my playing partners. On every shot, I try to set my camera up in a way that they won't notice it, as my goal is not to affect their golfing enjoyment. I'm going to take this as a sign that it must be working. With a wide open fairway in front of me, I tried to bite too much off the corner and hit some branches. Stupid mistakes like this have destroyed my front nine scores all year and seemed to lead to a series of bad shots. I wound up hacking it the rest of the way to the green, and only a great chip and putt kept me from shooting worse than a bogey. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I've been hitting it right into the pond in this hole way too often. Today, I finally decided to aim farther left and accept a longer shot in. And guess what? It worked. My pitching wedge landed right on the edge of the false front and barely trickled off, but I recovered well and made my par. The par 3 sixth always has plenty of wind swirling around it. I aimed my 8-iron down the right edge and pured it, which of course meant the wind had no effect on it, so I wound up under this tree. But fortunately I had a backswing and hit a phenomenal chip and again made my par putt. At this point, I'm really feeling good about my game and just trying to play one hole at a time. At 440 yards, the 7th hole isn't a long par 5, but it's a narrow fairway with out of bounds left and water right, so a great drive is necessary, which then leads to a very long carry over wetlands to a raised green. I nailed this 5-iron into a stiff breeze right to the front of the green, which is where I was aiming, as being long leaves an awkward uphill chip to a green sloping away. All I was thinking here was to cozy this putt up to the hole and earn myself a well-played birdie. Success, and I'm back to 1 over par. I hit a decent drive down the left edge of number 8, leaving me with a pitching wedge to a raised green, protected by a creek. Unfortunately, I hit my iron left again, leaving me with another awkward chip from a bad lie. This time, I ran it well past the hole, leaving me with a long putt for par that I didn't make. Oh well, back to 2 over par. The 9th really is a gettable hole. I smoked a drive over 250 yards down the middle, leaving me with a short iron in. Now the one thing you have to remember here is to always play to the middle or back of the green, as the steep false front will not hold your ball. I hit it right to the back edge, leaving me with a relatively flat, long birdie putt that I almost made, but ended up tapping in for par. So the tail of the tape is a 2 over 39, with 3 bogeys and 1 birdie. My chipping was really good, leading to me only taking 13 putts. I head to the back 9 feeling great, as I played it close to par all year. The 10th hole is a dogleg left with the green protected front, back, and right by a creek and wetlands. I ended up pushing my drive right, leaving me with a long iron in that had to land soft. Not today. The last time I played, I had the same shot and hit it in the water. Today I'm taking my medicine and laying up. I hit it a bit long but was on the green. 2 putts and I had another bogey, but that was a lot better than the double bogey here last time. On the 11th, I struck the ground first with my driver. The ball ran up the right side, leaving me with a short iron in, which I left just off the green right again. Anyone else noticing a pattern here? It seems like every hole I'm counting on a good chip to save par, and we all know how long that lasts.
Didn't hit it. I babied it.
This time I had about a 5-footer and a green I never seem to read right. So, 2 bogeys in a row.
Son of a bitch.
The par 5 12th is a sharp dogleg left with a generous fairway for your drive. The layup is important here, as the green is protected by a creek and wetlands directly in front and right. Hitting the ball on with a lofted iron is your best bet. I wound up playing it just as I wanted, but again, landed on the green, short and right.
Just barely.
Fortunately, I hit 2 good putts and walked off with my par. The 13th is my favorite par 3 in the course. You have to carry wetlands and a creek in front of the green and to the right. A long shot can also put you in the water or leave you with an awkward chip back up onto the raised green. Today, I just hit it to the middle and accepted a 2-putt for par. The train seems to be back on the tracks. For some reason on the 14th, I've been hitting overhead branches on the right lately. Today my ball finds thick rough and all I can do is try to punch it downhill towards the green. This is a first for me, a putter from about 25 yards onto a steep green. It actually worked out well and left me with a putt for par. Unfortunately, there was a lot of break in it though, and I missed. Whenever I try to hit a mid-iron hard, I tend to pull it left. Well, I was hitting into a strong breeze and at the last minute tried to kill it. This left me with a real tough chip uphill to a sloping green. And I've been to the well too many times today with my chipper. This led to another bogey. There was a little bit of anger in this drive. I nailed it down the middle of the fairway about 260 yards. Unfortunately, my camera missed my second shot, which was a bump and run onto the green. 2 putts though, and I walked off with another par.
And you still don't.
Watch that thing fucking go halfway to the...
So, this is how my brain works. After swinging out of my shoes in the last hole and hitting a good drive, I decide on this long par 4 that I can do it again. Well, you would think by now that I would be aware of how that usually works out. I wound up taking 3 shots to hit the green, and though I had a long putt for par that almost went in, another bogey. It was at this point that I realized all I had to do was par out to shoot a 79. So I smoothed the drive into the fairway, took a couple deep breaths, and smoothed my approach wedge to the middle of the green.
Nope. I'll take it, but it's not where I was aiming.
It's funny how nervous you get knowing you need a 2-putt. All I wanted to do was cozy it up for a tap in, and I did it. My first under 80 round of the year. So, despite struggling a lot more on the back nine than was necessary, I shot a 5 over 40 with 5 bogeys and the rest pars. I hit only 2 fairways and 3 greens with 16 putts. A 7 over 79, and I walked the course again today and felt great. Since my last video, I've lost another 2 pounds and I'm down to 197, the first time I've been under 200 in years. My weightlifting, dieting, and stretches are making a remarkable difference in my overall health. And I feel like I'm living proof that anyone at any age, through exercise, can get back their strength and flexibility. And I'm also looking forward to seeing how low I can get my handicap this season. Please subscribe if you'd like to see how I do, and thanks for watching.